It's a privilege to be here with you, and I want to thank you for the invite, and a big hello to everyone. I saw friends that are in Hawaii. I see Texas. I know all around this great country. So hello to everyone. And you know, when I pray and I ponder about all of you and our great friends Sean and Jamie, and how we've watched their family grow, and I get really emotional. Just, you know, thank you so much for sharing the words that you did, and it means a lot. But them and all of you and the individuals and the families throughout our company and throughout this team mean everything to us. But when I think about what I want to share, like I woke up in the middle of the night and I looked out, and the stars were bright. And I thought about all of my blessings, all the blessings in our family. And I was thinking about all of you and your dreams and your goals, and your families, and the difference that you make. And so I really hope, as I share these things that I've thought about, that I can encourage you, and that I can somehow inspire you, that I can inform you, and that I can connect with you. And I can really help in any way. And my motto always has been from the beginning, whether it was a small little meeting, it was a 2-minute talk, it was a 20-minute talk, it was talking at the Superdome when I about passed out, and I had 2 minutes to talk in front of, you know, 80,000 people. It was ridiculous. But I thought, if I can help one person better their lives, strengthen themselves, believe what they have inside of them, then I'll feel good about that. But anyway, I just want to say that we have a great company. We have great leaders, and you all are with two of the very best people, great leaders that care so much, that understand the business, that are passionate about all things in life. And you want to be around people like them. And I just looked at the leaders bulletin, it just finally updated, and I was like, yes, what your team accomplished, and I know where you're going and what you all want to do. And whenever I look at our leaders bulletin, I look at the number of people that have been affected throughout North America. And it's incredible the growth that our company has had this year through all the adversity. And it just shows you there's no company and no team and no place you can go where, no matter what comes in front of us, we can do it. We can do anything together because we want to help each other. We want to share our best and pass it around, because we got a big job to do in financial services and with homes and families. Really, there are so many dreams and goals that all of us have. And again, this is a place where you can make this happen. And I know that I've watched, I've grown, we've been blessed, and I'm passionate. You know, and Rich and I have been in financial services for 41 years. But what's super exciting, I have to share, is on Wednesday, it's our wedding anniversary for 42 years. And it feels like, boom, it's just like yesterday. And I feel as young and excited to be with my dream guy and just everything. So we're going to go to our ranch and have a fun romantic picnic, and it's going to be great. We'll probably end up with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and feeding hay to the cows or whatever it is, but as long as we're together, it's awesome. So it's pretty great. You know, I just love my husband so much, and I am so grateful for him and the belief he's always had with me, and the belief and I know that he has really wanted me by his side, and that has meant so much to me. You know, we have three grown children that are married, and now we have 4 granddaughters. Our oldest son, Richard, just he and Amanda had a baby girl October 14th, so it's pretty great, and we're really blessed. You know, I've seen amazing things happen in our life that we want to pay off our Visa bill and buy a couch. That was our big goal and big dream. But we have been able to achieve so much. And I was speaking with Rich and I said, what do you think? How many people we've recruited over the years? And we figured 2 or 3 million, probably more. And we've helped over 10 million families in those years through the companies. Now that's a pretty great thing. If you think about things you did in your life, that somehow you made a difference in families, in the lives of others and individuals, in just helping them believe more, to have more understanding, to be able to have more faith and more hope and the whole thing. And it's incredible. My support in helping our business, it grew, in very simple ways. When we first started, the gentleman who introduced us to our product and starting to save $11.59 a month, his name was Gordon De Leon. And wow, he changed all of our lives. I mean, wow, who had any idea this guy that sat at our little kitchen table, and we didn't know anything about needing protection, and we were newly married, only married 6 months, but he really made us understand that it was important and that our future was really important. And then he tried for 6 weeks to get us to come to a meeting. And we kept saying, no, we're busy. No, as we're barely surviving and looking to think that we both needed second jobs. So we finally went to a meeting, and I'm grateful to this day that I got to go there, because I got to see Rich Thawley's blue eyes light up. There was something that he saw in this opportunity, something that was shared that he said, Cindy, if what they're saying is true, I believe this is going to be one of the biggest opportunities. I really think so. And, there were like 7 people in this meeting, brand new in California, nothing to show, but he knew it because he's a visionary, and he just knew. And so we joined, and, we started and just stumbled forward, and we made a list of people we wanted to, share about what we were feeling. And it was just incredible, and then he just kind of learned himself as he went out in the field, and I went with him. And I sat there and I almost cried when we'd come out of people's homes. It said, if no one has ever come to us and shared this, thank you so much. And we'll tell 10 other of our friends and have you go over there. And so referrals and building the business was, was work there at the beginning, and it continued to be work. But what it was joy. It was an opportunity to go to homes and families and give them a chance of the greatest opportunity in the world. And so as we started, when Rich would say, can you help me with this? I'd say, sure. And I would, type the analysis, because back then we didn't have computers, we didn't have anything. But every time we did an analysis that I typed, we did a better job, or we gave them this hope. And that was a great thing as a partner, because I knew, number one, what we were doing was right, what we were doing was important. So I always was very supportive of what we did. And after that, as people joined, whatever Rich did, I helped them do the same thing, get a license, get some training, get out in the field. And I just tried to help wherever I could. And then I was invited to go to a meeting with Rich in San Francisco. The president of that company was there, and 4 other people, and they spoke, and I was so moved. And then they said there was going to be this other little meeting called a partner meeting. And I didn't really know what it was going to be like. And I got in there, and there were like 3 people and a slideshow, and the president's wife couldn't come because one of her kids was sick. And so we learned about how we can make a difference, and how a partner could make the difference in the business by, number 1, being supportive, number 2, believing, and somehow getting involved, and they were going to have a real chance in their lives to make some dreams happen. So all I did is then I went back home and told my partners, the same thing. And then we just kept passing it on and passing it on and passing it on, and built a gigantic partner organization of great supporters for, the people in the business. And it was awesome. It was incredible. And I felt so lucky, because in past jobs Rich had, which, through our dating and then early marriage, the people he worked for, they weren't concerned about me and, oh, be sure and come. How's Cindy doing? Just any appreciation. And they had little appreciation for him. But this company, I knew, believed in my husband. And then I knew, together as a newly married couple, this is awesome to be in a company that believed in the strength of marriage and two people putting their talents together and achieving together. I'd never heard that before. So I was really all in and loved it. But I helped and supported in any way I could. And then we started our family, and just built a family and a business and our marriage and friends, and became financially independent with a lot of great mentorship and a lot of encouragement and a lot of belief. And it just keeps going and keeps going. I loved attending the BPMs. I loved meeting the new people. I loved afterwards, and after they joined, making a friend, connecting, communicating with them, letting them know if they had any questions, just give a call. And then getting them to understand in whatever way it was this could work for them. And that each and every spouse, each and every partnership was different. There was none that was going to be the exact same, because everybody joins at a different time and then have different situations in their lives. But we were going to look at, and we did look at the very best in both of them. And we tried to help partnerships work together to bring out the best in each other, to work together on their goals and their dreams, and to be able to achieve together amazing things. And it's been a pretty awesome thing to watch. I really found through this, I have grown so much. I got my teaching credential. My dream was to be a kindergarten teacher. And then I working on a master's in early childhood education. I love to watch a development of a child. But as we got in the business, I saw I could help and support Rich, but I could grow, where then I ran, our office. I had hundreds of apps going across my desk, getting people licensed, going out in the field. I've just grown so much and had so many opportunities for growth and for achievement. But the main thing is, I feel personally that I've had a chance to help others grow to believe more in themselves. I think it's an honor and a privilege, just so, like I said, for Sean and Jamie to give me the time for them to believe that I could somehow connect and make a difference with you. But it's amazing. I think of couples, spouses that we've helped in them trying to have a stronger marriage, or learning how to take the opportunity they have in building their finances stronger, but how to utilize it so you really truly had financial independence, and how to work with that, how to dream bigger, how to really build a sound business together, how to balance, balance is a myth, but how to try to balance, kids, your relationship, parents, just everything going on. But we can do hard things, and we can find greatness in things as we grow together. I've always been encouraged to read good books, and now so many opportunities to listen to great things too. And I encourage you to do that. Look and evaluate if you're feeling like you need uplift, or you need an area you want to grow in. There are really good things to read and listen to, and really evaluate what you're reading and who you're hanging around with if you're feeling like you're not growing to where you want to be. I read Power of Positive Thinking every year, and I reflect and write down notes. Okay, I'm slipping here. I need to get a little bit better there. Or I'm listening to to different things. And for me, I use prayer a lot. I really need prayer. I like to surround myself with people who I feel can help me grow to be better. And I've had so many great, incredible mentors. I went to my first mentor, Angela Williams, to a book that she gave me years ago and wrote in it something really nice. And I go back to that and reflect on how she believed in me and the things she felt that were the most important things to help keep a strong marriage and individually continue to grow and be happy. Through 41 years, lots of business growth and changes. I've watched, company leadership. I've watched product change. I've watched compensation change. I've watched, which is the greatest thing. And one of the things that Rich and I love so much is to make it better for you. It's a better opportunity than it was 2 years ago. 10 years ago. The thing of it is, that's what we want to do. We want to make it better for you, better for the new people that you're bringing in. And that is a great thing to work on. A lot of companies that they don't strive to do that. Rich was on a call this morning with Blake and Tom Dempsey and Susan, and they're just talking, what else can we do? How can we make it better? What can we do? And it's just so exciting. I want to be sure that you know that you're in a company with two of the greatest leaders, but with a leadership team at the top that really is striving to do more to make it better and wonderful. In the Zoom era, I think these past 18 months and 2 years, I want to commend everyone on here and every family that you have made it through this, all the times, in certain areas where your kids didn't get to go to a park, they didn't get to go to school, the husband and wife are both home working together, everybody's on top of each other, you're worried, you're stressed, but you didn't have to worry about our company. Our business thrived to it, and it is awesome. And what has happened to me is as I've watched the Zoom era is that more partners have been able to understand what we do more. They didn't have to get a babysitter to go to a meeting. They could listen to, their spouse, the licensed person, sharing the product. They could listen to someone introducing the company and just friendshipping. They could meet a brand new couple that just joined. They could learn on any of the product information, all the webinars, all the events going on. I watched families when there would be team events and kids would be sitting, watching and listening as the mom or dad got recognized for achievement, and they would be jumping up and down. I'm, so excited. So more people have a better understanding of what we do. And it's amazing. We can do Zoom. We can go out in the field. We can do all these things, but it just shows me the timing and the things that we get to do. We are unstoppable. Nothing can stop us because what we do is so important and what we do is right. Let's see. I was reading not long ago, a couple weeks ago, about Christmas. Christmas is coming up, and I'm behind on presents and wrapping or all that stuff, but I have a Christmas tree up and I'm excited. Trevor and my daughter and their kids have been living with us as they remodel their house. So I get it. I watch my daughter, you're on all the time with the kids. And yes, I remember that very well as I was, but it's been great. It's been great to just watch what we need to do for our families and what we can do together and the time it takes. But I was reading this article about gifts, and it was spouses, and it was husbands and wives giving gifts. And sometimes someone might say, like Rusty might say, Bridget, what do you want for Christmas? And maybe you have everything you need. You have love in your home, you have all this stuff, and there might be one material thing you might want. And so I was reading on this one, in this article, a husband had written all the things why he loved his spouse and appreciated her and put it in her stocking. And I'm like, that's a great idea. Another one gave their spouse a box of rubber bands and said, you're the one that holds us together. And another one gave a globe, a small little globe, and said, you keep our world spinning, and that's that kind of stuff. It hits our heart, right? It's the meaning of gifts and the meaning of important things in our lives. And, your teamwork and your support and your excitement and your belief in each other is so important. And I know that through 42 years of marriage, 41 years in the business, Rich will say the greatest support I've given to him is that he has always known that I've believed in him, and that I have given him the strength and the courage, whether we, whatever aspect of the business we were growing in, we needed to, really make some changes and really help the company grow more. And I was all in, whatever it took, because I know the difference that we make. And I know the opportunity we give for every one of you to achieve your dreams and goals. And it's great. My friend Jazz Dollywall and I, we correspond almost every day, on text and different things. And she does a thing called $1 billion partnerships. And so I get to be in it and I get so excited. I'm like, Rich, listen to this. Okay, we can do more. We can be bigger. But I got a text from her last night and they hit almost 20 million points, Jamie, in this past month. And Raja just went and bought his dream car, which is a Rolls Royce. And she was so excited for him. But think about him. 14 years ago, he's driving a taxi. But think about getting in your Rolls Royce and knowing you're not driving anybody around. It's yours. But I've watched so many people that I just kind of want to bring that out because I really stay in tune with, I'm reading what their partners are writing back. I go on their webinars. They invite me to come just to listen. And I think I have learned so much because I never want to get out of touch of what's really happening. But they have really created, like so many of our leaders, but I'm going to just specifically talk about them, a belief and an understanding and a desire to go for it, to just go for it, not wait, just go for it and believe in it. And it's going to be scary and it's going to be, I don't know if I deserve it. It's going to be, I don't know if we can do it. It's snowing, it's rainy, we have too much on our plate. There's all these things. But when you really know and you really believe in what we do and why we do it, you can conquer these. You can get over your fears. And especially when you do it together. When partnerships are amazing. I love to watch our single moms or dads and how much I watch kids that believe in their moms or their dads, or our parents that believe in their kids, and just the whole thing. There was a young man that joined that team, and he was 20, and he asked his parents first, and he asked Jazz, could you every morning at 6 o'clock, could you call me and tell me, get up, go for it, reach your dreams? And he just made it to SMD. And it's just like another kind of son for Jazz. But the parents called them and said, you've changed our son, you've changed his heart, you've helped him with direction. And that's why we have so many opportunities and so much we can do in the lives of people everywhere. And it's just the best. So when two ordinary people pool their talents and work together toward a joint goal, they can accomplish extraordinary things. We know that. We've watched it. Sean and Jamie have watched it. So I want you to be strong, and I want you to be united, and I want you to feel good. And I want you to keep learning and become educated, and be sure your own family home is taken care of. Good preparation. Watch your finances. You know, be sure so you don't have that stress in your family, in your home, and then just pass that on to others. Dedicate yourself to helping other people. You know, once you get licensed, it's a big deal. Licensing is extreme because it's the only way you can make money. Believe what we represent and know the needs of others. We really save people's lives financially, and through financial strength in the home. If an emergency comes up, you don't have to stress about it. I have a friend who just went through a divorce, and she just stayed completely oblivious of what their finances were. She's working 2 jobs. She's on food support, you know, all this stuff. And it just breaks my heart. And she said that she's taught her kids now, we're going to save more. We're going to make it happen. I really believe she's going to be fine, because she has a great attitude and a lot of belief. And I'm giving her belief almost every other day because she needs it. But it's important. What we teach is big time important. We have unlimited opportunity here. You can dream as big as you want. You can achieve whatever it is, you know, in whatever way. And we are going to be proud and happy and excited for you, because you're what's important. Your dreams and goals, not ours, but yours. And that's why, as you build a team and you watch them grow and you learn of some of their needs, their dreams, their goals. You know, when Rich and I got married, we wrote our goals down on a napkin. We wanted to have a great marriage, be strong. We wanted to have a family someday. We wanted to own a home. We wanted to find a business we could do together. Had no idea what that was going to be. And we wanted to have more faith and strengthen ourselves. And we found a church and a place where we could build that up too. But those have been the 5 foundational things for our life. And we keep striving to work on that. And we keep working out to be fitter and stronger and all that. So family, faith, and finance are important. Don't measure your success by the success of others. Surround yourself with positives. Really dream big. And, you know, don't wait till January 1st. Start right now. Start now. Be financially independent and save money. Don't get confused of what doing the right thing is, and keep your priorities. I encourage you to help new partners. Jamie, how am I doing on time? Okay. Okay. And I encourage you to help your other partners. And I think the thing that I want you to remember is sometimes when people join our business and we're like, bring your partner, you know, get them involved. And they've never been used to that in any business scenario that they've been in. You got to kind of remember, you kind of got to go slow. Just say, we want to meet them. We care about them. We want to know their name. We'd love to meet your family. And what our meetings are and our gathering is just to encourage and help, and just for you to know how important you really are. And it will surprise you how I've had some, and the partners come in and said, I can't get my spouse to come because she doesn't know really what you want, or why, you know, how's this going to change our life? And so you got to be careful, because some people don't understand, like, wow, we're going to change everybody's lives. You're going to have the biggest dreams happen. You're going to travel. You're going to, you know, do all these things, because they haven't been in situations where anyone's cared that way, or they haven't run into the opportunity that we have. But we got it, and you guys got it. So help your partners to stay informed. Try to answer their questions. Communicate in whatever way that you can, so people know, especially like your wealth goals coming up, that partners, maybe their partner might not give them, like, here's all the information, what you have to wear, when we have to be there, you can bring kids or not, you know, a lot don't do that. So somehow you got to get the communication out. Be sure and recognize small contributions and big ones. Sometimes drop a note to somebody and just say, we're so happy that you're in business with us and we see so much greatness in you. Or when they achieve they get the license, they get their senior associate, they get to SMD, whatever it is, recognize it. Grow together and use your abilities. And the last thing is, just don't wait. Make plans now. Dream big. Enjoy this great journey. Know that, again, you're on a leadership team of two of the greatest people. They care so much, and they grow, and they want you to grow, and they cause me to grow. And our company, trust and understand our company. Really, really, I can't wait until new things that are coming up. I saw the Hawaii contest for 2023 just started, which I was like, what? 2023? You know, it's not even 2022 yet. But anyway, I pray for your happiness, and I pray for your strength. And I pray that each of you can use the amazing talents and abilities that are in each and every one of you, and that you can really make your dreams and know that they can happen here. And enjoy every minute, enjoy this great month of December, but enjoy every day and make the most of it. So love you all. And I'm always here for you, always praying for you. So there we go.
Awesome, Cindy. Thank you so much. You know, just a couple thoughts as you were speaking. Number one, you talked about just coming into the business and wanting to pay off your credit cards and buy a couch, right? And now, like, your background, people might not realize this. The background was that taken from your balcony?
Yes.
Yeah. So that Rich and Cindy live on the 12th fairway of Pebble Beach golf course. And that's a picture of their backyard, right? Well, technically kind of their front yard, right?
Right. Right.
And so it's their dream place. They always want to live at Pebble Beach. As long as I've known Rich, I heard him talk about it. And that's where they live now. And they've lived there for several years. But then she also mentioned the ranch. And that's something that it evolved into, you know, that's a dream that's been a recent dream for Rich, right? Very recent and very different. Just the fact that you said you guys were going to be feeding cows with some grass. If you would have told me you and Rich would be doing that exact thing 5 years ago, I never in a million years thought. But you know, your dreams and the things that are important to you change, right? Can you just talk to that for like a second? You know, it's
and that's why, you know, you think you know what the dreams are, and then all of a sudden, like, I am definitely married to a visionary, you know, like, we don't just get like a small little ranch with a couple of cows. We get, you know, 5,700 acres, and he wants, you know, 50 miles, you know, and I have been so blessed by that he keeps me stretched. But it's like, now I can milk a cow, you know, like, I can do these things. I can spot elks, you know, and I never would have thought a couple of years ago, you know, like, I get the product and I can, you know, do these other things, or, you know, we got this dream home, and it's just incredible. And it's so many choices that we can make, you know, when we hear there's a need somewhere. And I am sorry that I'm not a better dream seller of, like, things, you know, like, you know, it's just so awesome to be able to do anything that you really want to, you know, but it's fun. But to watch Rich, and we were driving a couple weeks ago, and I said, Rich, no way would I have ever thought, like, we're out in the field and like, hey, Rich, someday we're going to be in a side-by-side, you know, like, driving across, you know, and watching a sunset from the top of a mountain that we own, you know. So but that's why life is pretty fun. That's why you got to just not stop, and you just gotta go, and you gotta support, and you gotta just enjoy this great life that's out there for us, and we can make it happen here. That's the amazing thing. So
And I'm glad you said it that way, because that was my point, is that that's your guy's dream, right? Just like Roz's dream was to have a Rolls Royce, and
That's right.
it's different, and that's going to evolve for him too. And so
Yes.
it's the point is that no matter what your dream, no matter how small or how big,
Yeah.
it can happen here, right? And
That's
it's
right.
for you, specific to you. There's no one way to do it.
Exactly. It's like Rich is so happy that we can hire somebody to put Christmas lights on, right? Like he doesn't have to, I don't have to say, okay, can you do it? Or can we get like the family, like I can get somebody, and it's awesome. I mean, just silly things like that too, but it makes a happy house,
That was a cool one. I thought it was cooler that he could hire someone for the next 10 years to build everything on your ranch for you.
You're right. You're right. Exactly.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just recently with our friend Linda Linder.
And we were just at their ranch, which was
Ah.
amazing too. It's
She was
really
asking
awesome.
about you.
Yeah.
You should give her a call.
I love them so much. And, when I first met Linda Linder, it was January of 1981, and Brian was 5. And I sat at a dinner or at a lunch with her and Norma Humphrey, and Linda started crying, and I was brand new. And she's like, I don't know if I can do I have 4 kids and this, and Jack's busy. And they still had an orange Julius. And I mean, it was just this big, long story. And afterwards, Norma she goes, are you okay, Cindy? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go and help Linda. But this just shows me. And then Linda thought, Cindy, you and Rich need to start a family. So 3 weeks later, I get a box, and it's home movies of how fun it is to have kids. And they just like, okay, you got to make this happen. This is the next dream. You got to have kids. But she taught me a lot, that you can go through things, and you can grow through things, and that we all support each other, and we're all going to be at different seasons at different times. And they have always been a great impact, a great example to us. And that's what you find in this business, is so many great people. We attract the best.
Yeah,
so
we really do. Yeah, Jack was very surprised to hear that you guys had a ranch.
He was very surprised. And when I told him how big it was too, then he was really surprised. And it was awesome. But they're just they live on 1,000 acres up on top of a hill, and he's perfectly happy. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He's in his own little heaven out there. He's got 2 bulls. I remember how upset he was when his bull died, and but now he's got 2 bulls. And everything that he loves to do out there. It's just great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it tells me the dream so much. Like someone, when you said you're not good at selling dreams, someone said you're the total dream seller, but someone else said your example sells us the reality of what we can have.
Yes.
So
yes, and anything and everything is possible. And it's great. And more people today need our hope, and they need a smile, and they just need to believe, and we got it. We can provide that.
I agree.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Cindy, so much for being with us tonight.